This is the Top Crypto Podcast, Episode 2. This is the Top Crypto Podcast, where cryptocurrency founders share with our users the path that they've taken to get to where they are today.
Each episode features in-depth project details, personal interactions with a core team member, behind-the-scenes info, and sometimes even blockbuster announcements.
Our show aims to shed light on lesser-known cryptocurrency projects to provide our listeners the need-to-know information about buying their tokens.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Tyler, and here's today's episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Top Crypto Podcast. This is Tyler. I'm here with my co-host, Jerry, and our guest for the day is Tomas, who is the co-founder of the cryptocurrency project Edgeless. Edgeless brings the first transparent and zero-edge casino gaming to the market. At this point in time, there aren't any casinos currently like this in the world. Edgeless Casino Project unites players that want a more fair and more transparent online gaming industry. Tomas, thank you very much for coming on the show today. We're very, very happy to have you here. I'm going to go ahead and...
Hello. Thank you for inviting to the show.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and let Jerry talk if he wants to take over here.
Yeah, so Tomas, thanks for coming on. I just wanted to know a little bit about your background, maybe before you got into this.
So just to give like a short summary, my background is IT project management, and then it happened to be that I used to play poker online professionally 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And then so I was studying business through an IT perspective, and I had like a lot of friends who are programmers, and then these friends like in 2012 they introduced me to the Bitcoin and like all this dark web, and then the introduction line was like, hey Thomas, do you know like 90% of internet cannot be accessed through your browser, and you need to use Tor browser? And then I was like, oh wow, really?
That's mind blowing.
And then I immediately got connected, and I started like following everything what's happening with the like dark web and Bitcoin. And then like for a lot of time, it wasn't that exciting. Like people were like trading one cryptocurrency, then like some other small teams created like some other coins, and then there was like this Vitalik and Ethereum Foundation, and then I would say so it was like the next huge leap after Bitcoin in crypto community.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they launched, I think they made like a major update which allowed like smart contracts to actually function. And then like another co-founder, a friend of mine, he immediately like made a prototype, and that was like a slot machine, and it was like functioning slot machine on smart contracts. And then we realized, oh wow, the thing is real. It's like really functioning. And then we thought, oh, okay, we need to do something serious about that. And then we kind of immediately, went through this ICO process, got funding. Actually, we have been one of earliest. We have been like the first successfully funded casino platform. And then we were like pretty early in this thing.
So I know you kind of just touched upon it, but when would you say you first thought of this concept? I know you said the slot machine that your friend did, but from that time till when you decided like, okay, I'm going to do this, and when did you actually form Edgeless?
So when users started playing on the slot machine, and then it was like the first slot machine on smart contracts which accepts Ethereum. And then they checked, okay, we didn't really invest anything in marketing, and there was like a huge demand for this kind of service. And then we thought, okay, it makes like a lot of sense because this smart contract solves like an actual problem in the industry. And checked, there was like some other Bitcoin operators doing like a really good business, and then it was like just automatic. Like it was like a no-brainer. Like you connect gambling smart contracts, and then you like solve really like reasonable problem, like which is you can do that today. And then I remember like once we were like thinking about an idea, we kind of understood that Ethereum has a limitation of scalability.
That was something else I was going to ask you about.
Yeah, but at the same time, then we realized that gambling products, they do not really require a huge scalability, because there are like plenty of ways you can kind of go around that. So
Okay.
yeah, so then we kind of programmed the state channels, and then it became a scalable product even today. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice. So, do you have any advisors or partners in or outside of the space in the gaming industry?
Yeah, like from gaming industry, we don't really have like a lot of partners. The background of most people are mainly like blockchain thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so far in the company, only I have like extended experience, like when it comes to gambling and casino things.
I like to think I do too, but
Mhm.
Jerry's
Yeah.
not very good at it though.
Yeah, so right now we are kind of yeah, we have a huge support from blockchain side. So we are trying to make a really nice and scalable product. And also we have been attending like gambling conferences last 1 year. So we had like a lot of like potential partner list. And then once we feel that we are ready to scale massively to like a classical gambling industry, so then we would invite more people.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So you talked about your ICO and everything. I'm gonna let Tyler touch upon the details of that, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
I'm gonna take over there. I just wanted to talk about funding. You mentioned an ICO. You guys went through the whole process in 2017?
2000, we started in 2016.
16,
So
okay.
yeah, at that time, like I don't know, like it was a super niche thing. Like no one really understood like what we were doing at that time.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and actually we raised at that time, we raised like a reasonable amount of money. It's not like 100 million, but we raised like I think 1 million in Ethereum.
Okay.
But Ethereum price went up like really high. So then then naturally we kind of the raised money became more valuable, and then we could increase the scale to
Yeah.
more markets.
Yeah.
Um,
I did want to touch on, I know this kind of goes back to your team, but how many team members do you guys currently have now? You mentioned co-founders. Do you guys have employees as well?
yeah, so we have 3 co-founders, and then we have I think more than 20 employees.
Oh, wow. Okay. Great.
Yeah, we're
Awesome.
located in Vilnius, Lithuania.
Okay, great. And getting back to that ICO, so you guys raised at that time, what, 2016, you raised about $1 million, you said. Do you know specifics by chance off the top of your head? Maybe like allotment of
Yeah,
your
it's
token distribution or anything? How many percentage of the tokens that your team kept?
yeah, we raised like 60,000 Ethereum, I think.
Okay.
And then yeah, and then the team kept 1/3 of all tokens, and these
Okay.
tokens they have been locked in a smart contract.
Okay,
So
great.
we currently access the tokens.
And what type of circulation is Edgeless do you guys have right now? How many coins or tokens are in circulation?
I think it's 137 million.
Okay. Okay, great. Kind of talking, I guess, a little bit on that, but this is more so actually marketing. I'm more curious. You said it is based upon a niche market because the blockchain space, obviously, there's gamblers everywhere, but the blockchain space obviously has them as well. Look at myself and Jerry. Do you guys have any type of marketing plans that you have maybe to really reach clients and reach users that are maybe outside of the blockchain space? Because
Um,
I can think about it off the top of my head, and it's very simple to. I know you guys don't offer this. I wanted to actually clarify this first. You don't currently offer this to the United States, correct?
no.
Okay, unfortunately, yes. That includes myself. So I tried to actually log in and use it, and I couldn't get access to it. But are you trying to create some type of marketing campaign to reach users that are maybe not blockchain driven, so to speak, but want to utilize some type of online casino platform?
Yeah, so we are pretty pragmatic on this question. So we do understand that the final user they don't really care about like private keys, blockchains,
Hmm.
wallets, or tokens in general.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to do, so we will integrate fiat currency gateway So that means people will be able to make deposits in dollars or euros, and then the processing like gateway will convert money into tokens, and then they will use the tokens to activate the smart contract, which provides the gambling transparency, and then they can access the service. So in the long run, we are trying to make a platform which has like user experience similar to any other classical casino platforms, but also it has this blockchain element in the back end, and user doesn't need to sacrifice user experience. That means user doesn't need to have any like storage. He doesn't need to care about like token price and things like that. So we're going to integrate real money, and then people will make deposits, and then the conversion will happen on the back end, and they wouldn't even feel
Yeah, I think that's enormous. I think pairing with either I know I like to say this because I'm American, but pairing with the U.S. dollar or pairing with the euro, I think that's one of the biggest obstacles that most cryptocurrency projects currently have, because the modern day user is someone that is familiar with blockchain space, is familiar with cryptocurrency. But if you look to get Bob and Edith, who are the 65-year-olds that own the diner down the street, to use cryptocurrency, you have to somehow make it easy for them to acquire that. And I'm not sure if you have any. Do you have any type of game plan to do some type of edgeless token to U.S. dollar pairing? Because I know that there's not many coins that are currently paired like that.
We have a pairing on exchange, but right now we are not really seeking a pairing functionality. We are looking for a third-party provider who can do the conversion. Sure. And it wouldn't be like an exchange. It would be more like just a conversion provider.
Okay.
That means then we will be able to provide benefits of the blockchain to vast majority who doesn't really give a damn about cryptocurrencies.
Yeah. That's
and then we will do this classical marketing, and just our product is going to be more transparent than any other, and you would have a competitive edge.
Gotcha. Jerry, do you want to touch on a couple other questions for him?
So I know you just talked about transparency and everything, but what do you see as the biggest problem that modern day casinos have that Edgeless can basically capitalize on?
So the main problem of casino industry is an image of entire industry. So right now, for most people, gambling is associated with a shady industry where people cheat and something bad happens. And it's not without a reason, because actually, a lot of centralized casinos, they did scam acts against own players, because they have random RNG mechanism inside their server, and people can't really know whether the casino is cheating or not. And let's say if casino has to make just one tweak to increase its own profits by 5 times, so then there's a high chance that smaller providers, they will definitely do this thing. And also another thing about the industry that a huge part of that industry operates illegally anyway, so they're they don't really give a damn about law or image. So in our case, when we connect part of the casino's code to the blockchain, so that means these mechanisms become visible to vast majority of people, and then they can easily see what's going on with the platform. So right now, if people would go to our smart contract, so they can see all ingoing transactions, outgoing transactions, and these are real deposits made by people. So they can see the size of the bankroll. They can see the overall all balance of all players. So they can they have a really good overview how the mechanism works.
So I guess you could say that Edgeless is transparency, is your driving. Being able to see all of this stuff, is transparency is kind of your leg up on modern day casinos. So that's what we were aiming to. Well, we are still, we haven't reached the highest point because there's a lot of levels to transparency. Right now we develop a lot of tools, and we are developing even more tools to bring even more transparency to the platform.
Yeah, and in the end, we kind of plan, to make a brand which associates with transparency and positive gambling, which is like a form of entertainment, which
Yeah.
is not the part of the shadow or part of like shady industry.
Mm-hmm.
Then once people they will be tired of playing on unknown brands, so then they would just remember, oh, Edgeless, okay, it's a transparent brand, so I'm fine, playing some games on my phone when I'm going to work or something like that.
Nice. So I just kind of had a question. What happens to the edgeless tokens? Say I put in $1,000 and I get my, let's just say, 1,000 edgeless tokens. What happens to those tokens if I inherently lose all of them while gambling?
Yeah. So then these tokens, they go to the casino bankroll, and then then the team of Edgeless, then once they need to fund the business operation, then they take profits from the bankroll and then they fund the business operation.
Okay, I was just worried about like running out of tokens for people to buy.
Oh, yeah. It's not really an issue because we still need to pay salaries to people, and we have a pretty large team, and then we do marketing activities. So then, once we make profits, so we turn that profit into euro.
So if a player were to lose their tokens, it goes to you guys and you liquidate it back into circulation.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense then.
there's like a circle, and then once player if they lose money, so then we fund the business activity, and then we put the tokens back into circulation.
Okay, that makes sense. I also read on your white paper that there's some sort of staking that you can do with your tokens. Can you touch upon that?
Yeah, so staking, the thing is that we have a limited supply of tokens,
Mm-hmm.
and we cannot really create more tokens. We can erase tokens, and we don't have like a control of token economics. So since we have fixed amount of tokens, we need some kind of a mechanism which would allow us to collect the bankroll. Because if we, if like some investors, they buy all the tokens and
Mm-hmm.
they don't give these tokens back so we can collect the bankroll, so then casino wouldn't have a bankroll.
Yeah.
So this staking is like a crowdsourced bankroll of the casino. So that means like Edgeless token holders, like we haven't launched this yet. Because this feature is still like going through a legal audit and also IT audit.
Okay.
But the future is going to be like a crowdsourced bankroll of the casino. So that means token holders, they can lend their tokens for the bankroll.
Mm-hmm.
So like a casino could have a chance, to form like larger and larger bankroll.
Okay, that's cool. Um, and then another thing I saw that you will be rolling out, I thought it said Q3 you'll be offering sports gambling as well.
Yeah. So right now we're developing like more classical games, and then in parallel we will launch a sport betting option.
Awesome. Touching on those classical games, you guys have a working beta. Is it an actual live platform now? And what games do you guys have on it right now?
Yeah. So it's a pretty cool thing that so far we are and the only project on entire planet which has utility token and functioning platform, which is right now attracting like mass consumer users.
Awesome.
So we have like a platform launched. We have two games, Blackjack and Dice. And right now people who go on the platform, so they purchase the token because they want to access the service of Edgeless.
Mm-hmm.
So we already have a platform and we already started a user acquisition process.
Awesome.
So
I'm not sure if you look at your Google search analytics, but I'm assuming a lot of those searches to Edgeless is from the United States. Do you guys have any plans to try and figure out a way? Is that a realistic thing to hope for U.S. access?
Yeah, like 3 days ago, U.S. legalized sports betting.
We did see
Yeah.
that, yeah. We didn't. I wanted to ask because I didn't know if you were aware of how that's going to play out with blockchain and online gambling as well. But that would be really cool if we could get access.
Yeah. So that's well, we still need to require a license. But a good thing is that our legal team is already on the research, and that was like another reason why we have been in the United States. And yeah, and definitely we are moving to this direction. And I do think that other countries will follow like some similar example. And probably in the future, US will legalize not only sports betting, but even like more classical games. And actually it makes like a lot of sense for most governments because they kind of realize that it's pretty much it's impossible to stop gambling, and people
it's happening.
It's going to happen anyway. And then if they want to collect taxes and they want to have a certain control or like at least a little bit of player protection, so they need to legalize these things. And countries which choose like this, just blocking gambling, so they're being really naive, thinking that people are
That's not going to happen. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this podcast here. We wrap it up with the fast four. That's what I like to call them. Just the four same questions to every one of our guests that we have on here. So question number one, on average, how many hours of sleep are you getting a night? Are you getting a full 8?
Yeah, maybe 6.
Okay, that's not bad. We had somebody on here let us know that when it's busy they don't sleep, so that was a little scary. Number two, does your team have a one piece of software that you guys can't live without? Is there like Google Hangouts, or I'm not sure if you guys have Slack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say it's like Google Drive. Like Google tools are like incredible.
Seems to be popular, and they have pretty much everything you would need to function a business anyway. So, number three, where can users go to actually purchase your token in terms of exchanges?
Yeah, so we have one of the most famous US exchange is Bittrex.com, and then Asian upbit.com, so they can get these. And if they don't want to go to exchange, they can use like Shapeshift or Banker services. So it's really convenient.
Awesome, great. And question number 4, I always like to probe with this one, so feel free to stand me up if you have to. But are there any exciting, upcoming announcements that you can give to any of our listeners? I know you said you have a lot of things in the works, so I wasn't sure if you had any exciting ones coming up.
Yeah, so we have actually developed a lot of additional games which are not mentioned on the roadmap, and we are planning to release them really soon. I think it'll be like a surprise for a lot of people who are following the project, because it's the first time I'm publicly stating this.
Awesome. Oh, wow. That's very exciting.
That's what we need.
Yeah, we'll have to get you back on the show when you do announce those, and do a little follow-up interview for all the listeners and users.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tomas, for coming on the show, and I'm sure that we're gonna be in talk soon.
Okay. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into our podcast today to hear from Tomas regarding his blockchain project, Edgeless Casinos, and how they're attempting to revolutionize the online gambling world via blockchain. If you like this episode, please give whatever channel that you're tuning in on some loving by giving us a like, a follow, or if you're feeling generous, even a review. On our next episode, we're going to bring on Kai Chen, who is the CEO of the blockchain company Olympus Labs, which is a company that's creating a blockchain financial ecosystem centered around their Olympus protocol for the decentralized creation of cryptocurrency-based financial products. If you have any questions, comments, or sponsorship opportunities, again, please feel free to reach out to us at contact@topcryptopodcast.io, or head over to our YouTube channel, where we actively engage with all of our listeners. Thanks again for watching or listening, and we will see you all next time.